Welcome once again to KSP Onlife Saturdays. This is yours truly, Amy Paralisan from Taytay Rizal, mother of four and a widow engaged in rental of office and commercial spaces. Like many of you, I am affected by this lockdown. Walang opisina, walang upa, walang kita. Kaya good news sa akin when the MCQ was replaced by GCQ in the areas I do business. Before the quarantine set in, I was already physically immobilized due to a foot fracture I sustained. Given that the scare factor of COVID-19 was pretty high, I delayed going to the emergency room to have it checked. To my disappointment, the doctor required that I wear a foot splint or half cast to protect my foot and hasten the recovery process. Recovery time, he said, will be 6 long months. Factored in na kasi yung age ko and existing ailments. Bah, mas matagal pa sa quarantine period. Alarmed by the prognosis, I asked God to help me out from this situation. Lord, allow my foot to heal properly at the soonest possible time. Went back to have my foot checked mid-May, and to my amazement, the doctor said I no longer need a splint as the bones are healing well and that I can expect inflammation to die down on the 12th week. Now on my 11th week, I can see my toes wiggling in the light and my foot capable of sustaining short walks. Thanks to the intervention and protective measures imposed by my doctor, I am on the road to a full recovery. More importantly, thanks to him, I'm confident to be able to walk in long strides and take the hikes to where he leads me to. Like my experience with my foot, healing from the havoc brought by COVID-19 necessitates a carefully crafted plan for a road to recovery. Loving or taking care of myself was my first priority. This was the first step I needed to heal my foot, and likewise what we all need this period of uncertainty. Do not stress yourself by watching news from TV, cable, internet. It will just alarm you more and put unnecessary anxiety and fear in your mind. It is good to be informed, but too much toxins can be bad for our health. Matthew 6:22-23 says, "The eye is the lamp of the body, so if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. How great is the darkness?" In my case, I use my time to do gardening stuff like cutting, repotting, and replanting. True that I couldn't walk, but I can still hop around and use my able hands to do all the things I need in the garden. End result was a garden that was pleasing to my eyes and to everyone who sees it. For others, this may be a time to binge on movies or Korean telenovelas on Netflix, or be glued in social media like FB, YouTube, and the infamous TikTok. Be careful! Too much of it can strain your eyes and even cause headache. Instead, utilize this time in worthwhile activities that you probably didn't have the time to do way back when you were too busy with your career or business. Cooking or baking a dream dish could be one fruitful way to use your idle time. Exercising to stay fit or to lose that flub can also be a lifetime goal you may want to do. Just remember that if an activity will bring positively good results to yourself, then engage in it wholeheartedly. Psalm 119:37 says, "Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things and give me life in your ways." This lockdown can cause boredom, loneliness, and depression to a lot of people. From loving or taking care of ourselves, let us reach out and stay connected to others while keeping the social distancing rule. Good thing ang dami ng channels on social media we can use. We can use Messenger, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, to name a few. My high school friends tried this recently. An hour meeting went on for 3 hours. We had so many things to talk about, from current lockdowns in their countries to as trivial as what makeup products best to cover those aging lines and how to do the perfect eyebrows. Ang dami talagang pwedeng pag-usapan that we decided to do it again, and perhaps on a regular basis. The telephone or cell phone is also a good venue to get in touch and perhaps say a few messages to others. A simple call to ask how they are doing exchanging tips on coping with the quarantine, or simply asking if they need anything can truly warm anyone's heart. In John 13:34-35, it says, "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another." Use the time to show your care for others so that the others may see the Lord in you. Another passage on loving others can be found in 1 John 4:21-22. "And he has given us the command, anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister." The second path of healing is through faith. What is faith? In the New Testament, faith is shown as confidence, trust, reliance, and humility with God or Christ. It implies total surrender of our desires to God or Christ. Tignan natin yung case ni Naaman who was ill with leprosy. He went to the prophet Elisha and asked what he should do because all worldly attempts did not cure him. And the message Elisha gave to Naaman, seen in 2 Kings 5:10, "Go wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored and you will be cleansed." Nung una, na-insulto si Naaman, for he expected the prophet Elisha to dramatically heal him. Upon the insistence though of his servants, he followed Elisha's instructions. So he went down and dipped himself in the Jordan 7 times as the man of God told him. And his flesh was restored and became clean like that of a young boy. Do you think the water has medicinal power? Of course not. It was his faith in God that enabled his healing. In Hebrews 11:1, faith is the confident assurance that something we want is going to happen. It is the certainty that we hope for is waiting for us, even though we cannot see it up ahead. Likewise, same can be said for our current situation now. We are truly helpless and have no control of things. Even the highly developed countries who have all the resources and power cannot put a stop to COVID-19. The numbers are increasingly alarming, and the effects are truly devastating in the lives and livelihood of all people around the world. What we can do is to fully commit everything to God, to rest completely on Him and trust Him fully. In doing so, a radical change in attitude and perspective would prevail. We will see the beauty in the negative side of things. We will see light at the end of the tunnel, and we will see happiness in despair. The importance of faith cannot be underestimated. We need to strengthen it, especially in these troubled times. How? Well, first, let's pray. Make it a habit to start and end the day with a prayer, asking God for help and guidance. In Joshua 1:8, it says, "Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful." Second, let's be generous to others. The love we share gives a feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction that no comfort food can replicate. It is in helping others that we become stronger in mind and in spirit. Proverbs 11:24-25 says, "One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. Whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered." And third, let's get inspired. When life is difficult, read about the lives of people who demonstrated faith in amazing ways. Learn from their agonizing situations and their faithfulness that brought them out of the dark. Example would be Moses, Job, Joseph, Peter, to name a few. And fourth, let's be with people whom you admire or give positive vibes. The positivity within them rubs off on us, thereby helping resolve our problems from a state of lacking to a state of abundance. As we move towards a new normal, there is a new hope. Hope is a sense of optimism based on expectation or desire. Isaiah perfectly explains the power of hope in Isaiah 40, verse 31. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Hope is a potent force which we can hang on to when everything around us seems to be falling down. It was hope that gave me the strength when I was widowed and had to raise 4 children on my own. On top of that, I was heavily indebted because of the closure of our business, and investors were hounding me like I was a fugitive. It was at this time that I got to know the Lord and entrusted all my worries to Him. Volume was no match to God's peace that lives within me. And despite the darkness hovering me, I can see not far ahead a rainbow of hope. I was turned into a new leaf, resilient against the wind and rain, absorbing the nutrients of the soil and standing tall to where the sunshine is. At this point in time, it is hope that we need to free us from feelings of helplessness, loneliness, and despair brought by COVID-19. The days ahead will be long and weary, but we need to adapt to new ways of doing business or socializing. Now, the move is towards digital in almost everything to maintain social distancing. Work from home, online deliveries of basic necessities, app for money transfers and payments, and soon, a transportation app, and many more. Strict quarantine measures are slowly being lifted, and life is slowly picking up to become normal. While waiting for everything to be back as it was before March 16, let us remember these 5 powerful words God promised us to see us through. I will be with you. Judges 6:16. He will be with us in all our battles. Some days will be a disappointment, especially if you see the number of COVID cases still increasing, and some days will be a struggle when our savings are slowly dwindling, business is not picking up, and we have unpaid bills to cover. But rest assured, God hears us and answers us, just like when He stood with Gideon, who fought with a small army of 32,000 troops against 135,000 troops of Midianites and still emerged victorious. Truly, He is a faithful God who will take care of us and deliver us from the darkness we are in. The race for a vaccine is on. Everyone is looking forward for it in a year or 2 so that we can fight this pandemic head on and go back to our normal ways. Meantime, what we can do is to remain strong, faithful in prayer, and hopeful that things will be better with God by our side.